coronavirus infecting the political arena? And should there be a truce? That is what our next guest says. Commentator and author and columnist Cal Thomas here now to discuss. Cal, good to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we've seen politics invading the coronavirus conversation as lawmakers decide and debate how to best handle this. You have suggested a political truce. Explain what you mean.
Well, I'm a native Washingtonian, Jenna, and I've been around through Republican and Democrat administrations, and I think they used to call it Potomac fever. It is the ultimate virus that's there all the time. But it seems to me with what is apparently a national and even worldwide emergency, we ought to be able to at least put aside our political battering for the good of the public. Whatever happened to Thomas Jefferson's great phrase in the Declaration of Independence to promote the general welfare? I mean, viruses don't discriminate between Republicans and Democrats, liberals or conservatives, or any racial or ethnic group. They affect everybody equally. So why can't we just get all in this together, as the World War II slogan was? I even found a Monopoly game, believe it or not, that is called We're All in This Together. So maybe we should send a copy of that to every member of Congress.
How can both sides of the aisle do exactly what you're saying? How can they work together, cross the aisle here to beat the virus?
Well, I think the public would really respond positively, except for those who, of course, are so partisan that they can't see any virtue in anybody except their own party and political persuasion and president or member of Congress. So I think statements and leadership are very important. I think Speaker Pelosi and the president ought to have a face-to-face meeting. They had that chance at the National Prayer Breakfast this year, but President Trump didn't take advantage of it. I think there is a lot of positive, even political benefit to both of them to show that they're on board and fighting this together. Now, Speaker Pelosi did say a week or so ago that this shouldn't be partisan, it shouldn't be political, but it wasn't long before both she and the president were at each other's throats again. That's not the way to approach a virus. I think the camaraderie today at that news conference you just saw the president held, the Walmart, the Target people, all of them pulling together. I don't know what their politics are. Probably some of them didn't vote for President Trump, but they're all in this together. And I think it's great that Walmart is opening up its parking lots for drive-through testing. This is the kind of thing that really appeals to Americans, and they'd like to see their political leadership sign on to this as well.
Cal, what do you make of the president deciding to declare a national emergency? Right move?
Well, it's certainly a right political move. I mean, he's been under tremendous pressure to do something. I find it incredibly hypocritical for some Democrats, especially Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, to basically repeat what he and the Secretary of HHS and Dr. Fauci from NIH have already said about washing your hands and covering your mouth if you cough or sneeze. Don't touch your face. The president and all these experts have already been saying that, and here the political people come out and say the same thing. It's almost like plagiarism. So I know what needs to be done, and I really think that the media is hyping a lot of this stuff beyond what it deserves. It almost reminds me of what they do with hurricanes. They get on, especially the local stations, because it brings high ratings, and they say, oh my goodness, it could go to Category 5. Look, most of the people who have died have been in a nursing home in the state of Washington, 26, I think, 28, something like that. And there was a CBS story out of Boston yesterday. I'm quoting it in my next column, but you don't really see the essence of it till you get the last paragraph. And the last paragraph says, most people who contract the virus recover from it. Now, that's not the headline for most of the media, because they want to stir up angst and anxiety, and that gets eyeballs for their TV shows and readers for what's left of the newspaper industry.
Cal Thomas, definitely an important point to make. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, Cal.
Thanks.